there was a bit of a celebration today, and I celebrated on Twitter saying that it's made it. It made a million, but of course, when it comes to stop killing games, there seems to be an extra push that is needed. So if you click here, it says to cover for invalid signatures, we may need at least 1.4 million signatures to secure this petition. So we're in the fight again. Because I'm pretty sure Ross is going to explain that in his video. So let's see what he has to say. Also, I didn't subscribe. I should have subscribed.
Hey, I have some announcements on Stop Killing Games. And I'm going to be looking away a lot because my mind tends to go blank when I look into the camera, and I don't want to memorize this. Okay, the breaking news. The European Citizens Initiative has crossed 1 million signatures.
It did, yes.
Except it hasn't.
Okay, it didn't.
This is going to kill morale, but there are two things going on here. The first we knew was coming. Every time somebody makes a mistake when they sign the initiative, their signature gets invalidated.
I see.
So that means we need more signatures to make up for everybody's mistakes.
I see.
It kind of reminds me of multiplayer games when you see somebody who just has no idea what they're doing, like they're attacking a wall or something.
Okay.
So in this case, we need to pick up the slack for the people who literally can't write their own name properly.
Wait. So, because there are invalid signatures, they probably didn't put the date right or the name in right. There is a chance that we don't really have 1 million signatures. Fuck.
That could be a lot. I've heard 10% minimum, 20% is better, 40% should be really safe.
It's when you say unclear, are you still talking about the petition, Derp? About names it says first. Okay, wait, hold on. Let me see something here. I want to see something. If you try to sign up for the petition, okay. So I'll ask you blah 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 blah, and then you need to, like, say I was in Germany. Okay, step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. Okay, it's pretty clear what you have to do. It's pretty clear what you have to do, right? It's at these signatures, so the goal went from 1 million to 1,400,000 or 1.4 million. So you still need to put in all this. Now I can't sign anything because I'm not EU. I'm not EU, or I'm not from the UK.
Or it would be, but we have a second problem. I've received several reports of people claiming to spoof signatures on the initiative site.
Oh no.
First off, I want to say that this is not a change.org petition. This is a government process. Spoofing signatures on it is a crime. Please do not do this.
Yeesh.
They'll be checked later by the EU Commission, and my guess is the fake ones will get turned over to Europol or Interpol, and they'll follow up on this.
I'm sure.
If it's coming from America, Interpol is known to cooperate a lot with the FBI. Now, will they prosecute people on this? I have no idea.
I don't think they're going to prosecute people, because it could be thousands of people who kind of spoofed signatures, which, I mean, I understand why. I understand why people are going out of their way trying to sign the petition for a good cause, of course. But you don't want to go and do some illegal means just to get things to go through. You want to do it in a very official faction. Like, do it once and hope that people have the same heart to sign the petition. Do it right the first time too. Like, do it right the first time. Too many people are lacking brain cells and can't find at least 2 to rub together to do something properly. I want to say, don't change, Cherry. Don't ever change. But I want to say that there are people like that. There are people who make mistakes. You know what I'm saying? People can be stupid. I'm just saying, people can make mistakes, but people can also be stupid, right? They can be absolutely dumb when doing something, and sometimes they do something dumb for a good cause. I'm just saying, do it right the first time. Could buy data for signatures and data size pretty cheap. Do it right the first time. Just do it right the first time, and hopefully this is not going to get too, because I know they have to go through an audit. They have to go through an audit. I already knew that they had to go through an audit for this to be finalized.
Europe takes its political processes pretty seriously.
They do.
So
yeah.
I would think the more it's being spoofed, the more they might send law enforcement after people doing this.
Wait,
Again, I
employment.
would not
Hell, I'd
suggest
much rather
doing
be
this.
playing Mecha
It
Break
seems
right
like
now.
a bad thing to risk going to prison over. But the problem here is I am now in a complete fog as to how much this affects the initiative. Now, don't worry. None of this will invalidate the initiative. All legitimate signatures will still count.
I'm
but
hoping
that
that's
1 million
one...
number, yeah, it might not be real.
Right.
I think we have at least 600, 700,000 real signatures. Beyond that, I don't know. Maybe it's just 1 or 2 people who tried it and this is nothing to worry about. Or maybe it's a sophisticated botnet spoofing hundreds of thousands of signatures. I have no clue. In fact, I noticed a few days ago, we were getting a good rise in the day European time, but then it would fall off a lot at night because people were going to bed. Now it seems like it's rising a lot through the night. So maybe most of this is an illusion now. We may not have won anything. I have to give credit where it's due. I was looking forward to reaching a safe margin and putting this behind me. But now I guess I have to keep this up until July 31st because now there's no such thing as a safe margin.
I'm sorry. Okay. This is the one and only critical thing I will say. And if it sounds bad, you can call me out for it, but these are my true feelings about this. When you start a movement, when you put out a petition, when you are the front line of something like this, you are not going to get away from it. I apologize, Ross. I apologize to you only because I have to say this. This will not be put behind you. You will be definitely involved with the litigation, or sorry, not litigation, the lawmaking process. You will have to be there every step of the way. I understand you want to put this behind you, and I understand that you want to go back to doing fun things and making fun videos. I get that 100%. But you have to understand you are the face of this petition. And I know this is not some sort of big, gigantic activist movement or anything like that. This is an actual, by the book, through the law, petition to create a justifiable law in the EU-UK. You are not going to get away from this. I understand that. You should understand that. And I think you understand that this is just not going to go away anytime soon. You can't just, unless you have somebody you know that you could pass the torch to, you're going to be part of this. That's all I really got. I'm not saying this to be mean. I'm just chalking up the reality of the situation. He created the petition. He is in this for the long run. He will not get away from this. Even after July 31st, he's going to be part of this petition. Even when we got some security around the petition, he is not going to get away from the overall process of the lawmaking, because they're going to call him, they're going to want him to be in meetings, they're going to have him be the full representation of the average gamer. Congrats, he pulled the pin on the grenade. I mean, I don't know if he understands that. I think he does. I think he's afraid of that happening because he probably wants to go back to his original life, but he's not going to get away with it. Sorry. Let me apologize here. He's not getting away from this. He's not. And unless, I don't know, if he passed a torch to maybe someone like MatPat or something, because MatPat's running for president. You guys see that MatPat is working with the government? He's working with the government to help video and content creators. That's crazy, right? But for this, right, man, Ross, I'm sorry, man. You are in this for the long haul. You really are. You may be from America. I don't know if you are, but even if you are from America, they will literally call you, Zoom you, or fly you out just so that you are heard because you are part of the process. You are part of the process. And that's the only bit of criticism I have. I'm saying this out of love. I'm not saying this to besmirch Ross here. I want him to succeed. Ross ain't on the initiative, formally speaking. He can 100% roach. Some German guy is on the document. No. So, Derp. He is the face of this. His name is somewhere within this entire legal system here. He started the initiative. He can't really dodge this if he started the initiative. Even if he has some German guy, he's more or less a liaison. So no matter what, even through his liaison, he has to be part of this. He is not away from this for the long haul. Honestly, I wish Ross would start a fundraiser, to be honest. I know he doesn't want to take people's money, but so many people support this. So like even I would like throw him a couple bucks, you know, if this is something of a longest issue, which it seems like it's going to be. I wish he started a fundraiser for this. I really did. I really do. I really do. But maybe Pirate Software and his tiny brain told a bunch of his brainless fans to sign it who agree with everything he does, even when he does something wrong. Indeed, of telling him he is. That is the worst case scenario of Pirate Software said, let's ruin this documentation. Let's ruin this by spoofing signatures and lying, basically, in the actual signature process. That would suck. He did say he would try to stop the thing. I mean, if he said he would, like, him actively stopping this whole entire petition would be a waste of his time. Why would he want to do that? Why would he want to do that? If that's the case, if it comes down to like 1 year or 2 years later, and like after, if this fails, and it's like 2 years later, it was Pirate Software that initiated that, bro, his life would cease. And I'm not saying through like, you know, any kind of threat. His social life would cease. So it's not really too far-fetched to think his echo chamber might have tried to sabotage it. I mean, it's true. I mean, it could. He has a lot of followers. But, like, you know, those are hypotheticals and possibilities. But I am wishing and hoping that it's not the case. Why does he do anything he does? Because he is a lowlife that has nothing to live for. I don't... Listen, I've only heard that Thor from Pirate Software disagrees with this well, I shouldn't say movement. This petition. He disagrees with this petition. This is not a movement, by the way. This isn't a movement, like an activist movement. This is a lawful petition. Outside of that, I heard he was a nice guy. I don't know. I don't personally know Thor. I know he had a misunderstanding on what this was all about, but that doesn't really give me room to kind of hate him. And it doesn't give me room to hate his guts because I don't know who he is. But you guys know me. I'm a very fair person. I'm a fair and humble person without any exaggeration. I am a very, very nice guy. I should say he said he disagrees with it to the point that he would recommend people to avoid it. Yeah. I know he said that he would actively tell people not to sign it. That's as much as we got from that. I don't know about sabotaging it. Find it funny that a guy named Pirate Software is against the preservation given, well, piracy. That's always been the irony. That's always been the irony of all this.
I have no idea what's real now. So, for people who hate the initiative, you got me. This makes my life harder, and now I'm on the hook even longer. I will be...
Again, bro, you're going to be on the hook for a while, bro. You put in a liaison on the documents, right, on the petition, but you're still connected to that liaison. He can't take it over. You are the front of this. That is the only criticism I will ever have with you. Other than that, I like you. I like you, Ross. I really do. I know what you're doing is the right thing.
So happy for this campaign to end. Actually, if you're really good at data analysis, I'd say try to look at those first couple days around June 24th and 25th, especially when Moist Critical dropped his video. I remember seeing about a 5% increase in signatures proportional to his views.
Okay.
So it might be safe to assume big YouTube views translate to 5% real signatures.
I mean, he gets millions of views all the time from people around the world. Unless he himself put out the data of the viewership that he gets on his videos. I mean, I think you can actually look that up, can't you? Can't you look that up? Is it possible that you can look up other YouTubers' viewerships and what country they come from? Terry just has no respect for Pirate Software. Honestly, can't believe more than half the stuff that comes out of his mouth. I mean, I've never watched Pirate Software's any videos or any of his streams whatsoever. So I don't have a leg to stand on to judge him. I think he's wrong and misunderstanding of the petition for Stop Killing Games, but that's about it. Don't think so? I don't know. Just not really have anything against the guy, but after seeing the way he acted on Twitter recently, I just can't really stand the ego of the guy anymore. I'll be honest with you, that does throw me off too when I saw that. It does throw me off. Pretty much a case of people that were saying that he had a massive ego were kind of proven right. If he does have a massive ego, he has a massive ego. Again, I can't really judge the guy. I don't know him. I don't watch his stuff. Thing is, he also thinks he's the smartest person when his actions show otherwise. That is arrogant with ego by quite a lot. That is arrogance to the fullest fruition there. And I wonder if it's his pride that disallows him to just admit, no, yeah, you were wrong about this, brother. I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know Thor. I don't know him.
Maybe you can figure out what our real margin needs to be. So yeah, that sucks.
Yeah.
We'll just keep plodding away unless we can figure out what the safe numbers are.
Right.
Sorry this isn't a big victory celebration. This is just kind of suspenseful and tense instead, and will probably hurt morale of people signing.
I know.
You know how in World War II, the Japanese had soldiers entrenched in a bunch of Pacific islands? Except some of them never got the memo when the war ended in 1945, so they just stayed there for years, assuming the war was still on.
Oh my gosh.
That's kind of where I am right now mentally.
Really? Wow.
At least it all
Wait
ends
a minute.
in a
No, I
month.
do remember that. That sucked. They were still in that world, and everybody's like, bro, the war's over.
Okay, another announcement. We've gotten reports that some countries, I think Italy and Belgium especially, where sometimes the digital ID system didn't work.
Oh.
In those cases, I'd say either use the manual method, which we have instructions for on stopkillinggames.com, or you could try coming back in a few days and see if it's working.
Okay.
Another news item, I've been told someone has launched a cryptocurrency based on Stop Killing Games.
Oh no.
Dumbest timeline, guys.
Oh no.
Just so everyone's clear, that had nothing to
no.
do with us.
Why? Why? Those bastards, why? You wretched, greedy little parasites. Why? Ah. Gotta love crypto idiots showing up out of nowhere when we thought they vanished. I knew they were always there. They're like roaches, bro. They hide under carpets until somebody say, hey, movement, and they'll come out and they'll be like, we can make a crypto coin out of this. And then they just go on and do some stupid shit.
I have no clue who would even want that. I'm sure it's a scam. So, yeah, that's all there is to it.
It is a scam. Well,
Something else to cover quick is I've heard a couple reports of people harassing pirate software.
Oh, don't do that.
I feel like this goes without saying, but if it doesn't, no. Of course we do not endorse harassing him.
Of course. Of course. Of course. I mean, you can always debate with him when he says some shit on Twitter, but don't harass the guy. Please don't harass the guy.
I mean, I said in my response video, I wished him no ill will, and I meant that. You know why? When people's lives are better, they tend to be less inclined to foment some sort of revenge. And I'm taking on enough heat already without adding to the pile. I mean, I'm getting some crazies heading my way, too. Though I can believe it's not as many. I also pointed out last time, whatever damage Thor did to the campaign has been neutralized. So whatever happens is not on him anymore.
Oh, wow.
I'll also say, I don't know what the hell everyone is up to either. This is a lot bigger than me. I can barely keep up with the campaign, let alone him or all the supporters. We do have moderators in our Discord trying their best. I've literally seen them ban someone suggesting bad action against others. Beyond
What is
that, I
happening?
know very little and have even less control over what the rest of the internet is up to. I'm focused on the signatures. If Thor and I never bother each other again, that is just fine by me.
Yeah.
I also don't hold him responsible for anything his fan base does. I'm not a fan of collective punishment. And on the flip side, Stop Killing Games is a populist movement. That's the very definition of messy. I can control that like I can control the weather. Oh, and speaking of barely keeping up, I've been having to play triage on emails and messages and prioritize the ones most critical for the campaign. So a lot of you are going to get a delayed response, but I should mostly catch up. Eventually.
Eventually.
Okay, the final announcement. The UK government petition has cleared 100,000 signatures. And I suspect these signatures are more legit. Though you can keep on signing it too as a safety margin.
Okay.
More will not hurt anything.
Okay. Okay. All right. I mean, does he have a link to that? I hope he has a link to all of that. Okay, so he has a link. He has links to all of this. Okay, cool. I want to get them all. So I don't know. I'm pretty sure.
So what should we
nobody
expect
here
from
is
this?
From Europe. Okay.
I honestly have no idea. I would bet money on the EU initiative delivering something good if it passes. But the UK has been more about exhausting all options.
True.
I will say whatever happens cannot be worse than the old answer from the Department of Media, Culture, and Sport. Yeah, we get to leapfrog over this garbage. This really is recycled garbage. Remember, we tried to launch this last year, and they gave us an answer that was so bad it was rejected by the Petitions Committee, and they told government to try again because this didn't answer the question.
Okay.
But then Parliament was dissolved.
Oh.
And when it came back and we relaunched again, we got the same answer copied and pasted into the new one.
Wow. Okay. All right. I forgot that the UK government. And I just forgot that sometimes government officials can be kind of silly. I forgot they could be very silly with all this. Look at this. What the heck? They copied and pasted. They added a few sentences like, no, well, okay, here's our answer. It's the same thing. What the? You can't hide this from me. Oh my goodness. Can't really. Wait. Stop killing game chat rooms, but majority start killing Thor for the last few weeks. It's been quite a lot. Unhinged people, I will say that for sure. Unhinged people. Oh my goodness, what is happening here? What the heck?
Just rearranged a little bit. Part of me suspects all action in the UK has been held up by one grumpy bureaucrat in the department. Well, now we can ignore that crap and head straight to Parliament. I mean, they cannot do worse than this.
Oh,
a member of Parliament could sneeze on the petition, and that would not be a worse answer. And that's the one guaranteed thing we'll get out of this, which is answers. Now, for those of you wanting to juice this further, it's been brought to my attention there's a page for finding out who your member of Parliament is if you want to reach out and tell them, yes, bring this up in Parliament.
Sorry, I'm snapping my
I'd say,
fingers.
yeah, that could help. But that absolutely is more work than signing your name, so I'm keeping my expectations in check.
Right.
There's a link in the description of this video.
Who would go out of their way for that,
Okay,
though?
that's it. Just
I
keep
hope
pushing.
Hopefully
Now
there are
we're
few
in the
souls for
fog.
that.
Hey,
That one last look, bro. That one last look. That last look. Yo, no, I am taking all the biggest freaking picture of that one, bro. That's funny. I'm sorry, Ross. It has to be done. I'm sorry, Ross. It has to be done, man. That just this look alone is great. This look alone is great. I'm taking it. That's definitely part of the thumbnail. That's great. All I can really say about all this is that I hope those signatures are real. I really do. I hope the signatures are real. Shame on people who are duping signatures and creating an even worse problem than what... Like, we all want to preserve games, right? That's what we want. And we should be trying to preserve games. As far as I could tell, I want to be able to go back and play games that even if you had multiplayer within them and it's needed by a server, I would like to envision a future where old games can be played through private servers that you can purchase, and as long as you keep up with that server, you can play with your friends and other people online, whoever you meet. I would love that to be a thing, you know? I think what Ross is doing here is an absolute fantastic thing. I just hope he understands he's in this for the long haul. He's in this for the long haul. He can't really escape from this. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, buddy. You really can't. Can't really escape from this. Oh, that's all about Nintendo there. Yeah, hope stuff goes well and Ross didn't get sabotaged. That's what I'm hoping. I don't think Pirate Software would literally send all of his followers to create like bogus signatures to get this ruined or anything like that. Because what this petition needs to go through now is the audit. So like they need 400k more actual signatures to divvy up from what he believes are fake signatures and people who did not sign the petition correctly. Of course, I'm going to put the links down there, especially the UK Parliament links. I'm going to put that in the description of this video, so you guys go ahead and check that out. Could do a private server, yes. Swap the multiplayer to peer-to-peer. True. I know 2 of my friends are trying to play Dissidia on a PSP emulator. Bring back the archives for games. Fuck Nintendo. There are archives on the interwebs. There are archives. I found a few. That's how I got Croc 2. I could play Croc 2 because of these archives. Peer-to-peer would peer-to-peer would be if be doable at all. Some games might not work with it, and I am perfectly aware that MMOs is a different kind of beast, and that most likely MMOs will not be backed up or saved, or be able to be saved via this petition. So I understand that. I mean, there is a private server for WildStar somewhere out there. I would love to play that. I would love to. If anybody finds information on that, please let me know. I do want to see what's going on in that little private server of theirs. Should be against the law for having agreement. You have to agree for console because kids can't sign legal documents. I mean, kids can't sign legal documents. Adults can, though. Hopefully, it doesn't stress him out to get this approved. Honestly, he's gonna go through a lot of stress. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about this. Because he started something that is involved in legal systems, especially when it comes to the UK or EU. That's a headache in itself, and he cannot walk away from this. I'm sorry, he really can't. Well, anyway, like and subscribe. Thank you very much. Again, if you're going to subscribe, it's easy and it's one press of a button. You can always change your mind later. I really do appreciate it. Have a good one. Bye.